In November 2022, Kim Jong-un hosted a military parade through the center of Pyongyang. Aside from the standard military flair and intercontinental ballistic missiles, there was something else being revealed to the rest of the world. Stood at his side was his daughter, Kim Ju-ae. This was the first time that a child of the reclusive North Korean dictator has ever been seen by the public. The appearance of Kim Ju-ae has sparked a debate regarding the line of succession in the Kim dynasty and if she is being groomed as the next leader. But on the sidelines is another woman who could be eyeing Ju-ae's position as the possible heir. Her aunt, Kim Yo-Jong, has steadily been rising through the ranks of power in North Korea, slowly becoming one of the country's most powerful women. This situation is doubly fascinating because, like all dictatorships, North Korea is a profoundly patriarchal society. Leadership with Kim Jong-un, like his father before him, has always passed down the male line. But with Kim Jong-un possibly not having a viable male heir to take his position, this has got many wondering, could one of these two women go on to become the world's first true female dictator? To begin to answer this question, we need to take a look at what little we know about the Kim family. Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, had 3 children. Kim Jong-un himself, his elder brother Kim Jong-chol, who was passed over for leadership by his father and holds little political power, and his younger sister, Kim Yo-Jong. Kim Yo-Jong is likely closer to Kim Jong-un than anyone else in North Korea today. They lost both of their parents at a young age, first their mother to cancer, and then in their early 20s, they were orphaned when their father died of a sudden heart attack. During much of this time, particularly when they were being educated together in Switzerland, they were each other's only support mechanism. Despite looking a bit like Korean Voldemort, Kim Yo-Jong has proven incredibly formidable in the Korean Workers' Party. She has quickly risen up the ranks and currently sits atop the propaganda and agitation department. Yes, that is a real thing. She's intricately involved in the decisions of the state and attended all 3 of the meetings between Kim Jong-un and Trump. When we move further down the family tree, however, the picture becomes much less clear. We do know that Kim Jong-un has 3 children. The gender of the youngest child is as of yet unknown. His eldest child was born in 2010, and it's rumoured that they could be a boy, and there are further rumours that they may be disabled, which in North Korea would rule them out of ever being able to hold a position of power. It is worth stressing, however, that this really is just speculation at the moment. There's no hard evidence that this is the case. But given that Kim Jong-un has seen fit to reveal his middle daughter, Kim Ju-ae, to the world, but not his eldest son, shows that the reason likely isn't due to gender. An elder male heir would undoubtedly be preferential to him from a lineage point of view, so the fact that he is instead promoting his middle child, a girl, could lend some credence to the idea that this may be true. Many would say that this is unnecessary speculation, as Kim is only 40 years old, but let's be honest, he's not the healthiest looking guy. He drinks, he smokes, he could probably do with eating a bit of kimchi every now and then. And plus, his father and grandfather both suddenly died of heart attacks. So let's say that hypothetically something was to happen to Kim tomorrow. Who would be in line to take the reins of power in North Korea? Kim Ju-ae on one hand is his own flesh and blood, and there are a lot of signs that he may be grooming her for leadership. The first piece of evidence is the number and type of events that he is taking her to. By the time both Kim Jong-un and Kim Jong-il took power, their fathers had been preparing for their succession from a very young age by starting to lay the deep and complicated groundwork for the personality cult in order to deify them in the eyes of the population. This first began with a large focus on taking them to military events, as this is of such importance to wield power in North Korea. Almost all of the events that Kim Ju-ae has attended so far are military in nature. Now, a lot of these other pieces of evidence are going to sound like I'm trying really hard to connect some dots.
My way down to Carol in HR, and I knock on her door and I say, Carol!
But the nature of North Korean propaganda and the personality cult around the Kims contains a great deal of symbolism. Everything is deliberate and everything has a meaning. As it happens, I actually have an example of experiencing this myself. When I was in North Korea, our group was in a train station, and we put our bags against a wall that had some portraits of the Kims at the top. A local actually approached us and said that we had to move our bags because their position there was disrespectful to the portraits of the Kims. If you've got any questions about my time in North Korea, then please check out my Q&A here. I'm still taking questions down in the comments, so if you want to ask anything, just pop it down and I'll be sure to answer it. So for example, the media in North Korea, which is essentially the same thing as the government, has started to refer to her as respected, a term typically only reserved for the supreme leader, and also as the Morning Star of Korea, a title once used by her grandfather Kim Il-sung. And this goes beyond just language. When you look at the type of images they're putting out, it tells a very similar story. It's very rare for Kim Jong-un to allow anyone else to take the spotlight in images that are taken of him. So to see a photo like this, with Ju-ae sat at the centre in a position of power, with military generals flanking behind her, is almost certainly done deliberately in order to portray a certain message. So that's the evidence that Kim Ju-ae is on a route to power, but she is still just a 10-year-old girl and couldn't be in a position to assume leadership for at least another decade. Not unless you want the North Korean army to end up looking like this. So, if her far more qualified aunt Kim Yo-Jong was to make a play for power, how would this go down? Well, if something was to happen to Kim Jong-un, then she would need to make a bid for leadership, and in doing so she would have to secure the support of North Korea's almost entirely male ruling class. There's no guarantee that they would back her in this move, and may instead opt to stick with Kim Jong-un's direct bloodline or to install in her place another male general. It's safe to say that if she attempted this and failed, then it would almost certainly be the end for her. So wouldn't it be safer for her just to stay on the sidelines, acting as her niece's regent? Well, maybe not. Given what happened to her uncle, she may decide that her best odds for survival actually rest in a bid for power. Jang Song-thaek served as Kim Jong-un's mentor and regent in the early days of his rule. Despite them starting out close, when Kim Jong-un felt that he was starting to threaten his position, in 2013 he had him executed for the crimes of being a counter-revolutionary and, I'm not making this up, clapping half-heartedly at formal events. You know, they say that power and wealth rarely lasts more than 3 generations. It's anyone's guess whether the Kim dynasty will last into a 4th. But what about you? Who do you think will take power? The aunt? The daughter? Or some third yet unknown contender? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.